They lied to you about your mind, about what you are truly capable of. For years, you've been told that intelligence is something you're born with. A fixed number, a grade, an IQ score that defines your ceiling forever. But what if that number was never real? What if intelligence isn't fixed but trained? Not inherited but built? Tonight, we uncover the greatest deception in modern education. The lie about intelligence. From the moment you entered a classroom, the conditioning began. Sit still. Memorize. Repeat. Do not question. Every test, every report card, every comparison quietly whispered. You are either smart or you're not. You learn to measure your worth in marks. You learn to fear mistakes. You learn that creativity is risky. And curiosity wastes time. But intelligence was never meant to live inside those walls. It was meant to roam, to explore, to break rules and find patterns where no one else looks. The system doesn't want that kind of mind, because that kind of mind is uncontrollable. So they built a machine, a school system designed not to create thinkers, but obedient workers, people who follow formulas instead of inventing them. Think back. You see someone brilliant, the chess prodigy, the mathematician, the strategist who sees 5 moves ahead. You whisper, "I wish I had a brain like that." And instantly, a second voice answers, "But I wasn't born that way." That voice isn't you. It's the echo of years of programming. A whisper installed by a system that profits from your doubt. Because the moment you believe you're less intelligent, you stop trying to evolve. And when you stop evolving, you become easy to control. Listen carefully. Every genius you've ever studied, Einstein, Tesla, Da Vinci, was not born with a divine spark the rest of us lack. They discovered something, a way of using the brain that multiplies its power, a mental framework that lets ordinary neurons perform extraordinary tasks. Einstein ignored school. He visualized himself riding a beam of light until the equations revealed themselves. Tesla built entire machines in his imagination before touching a single wire. Da Vinci dissected reality itself, seeing systems inside systems, sketching the invisible architecture of the world. They were not following rules. They were writing them. That is the truth that education hides. Because if everyone learned to think like them, the system would collapse. 2 centuries ago, governments needed workers, not visionaries. Factories needed discipline, not imagination. So schools were designed to produce efficiency, not brilliance. Rows of desks, bells that dictate time, textbooks that tell you what to think instead of teaching you how to think. Obedience disguised as education. They told you intelligence is measured by memorization. But memorization is the lowest form of thought. It's mechanical, predictable, safe. True intelligence lives in chaos, where you question, combine, and create. That's the realm they banned you from. Here's the secret. Your brain is already a genius machine. It can rewire itself every moment you're alive. Every thought changes its structure. Every challenge builds new pathways. But you were never given the manual. They taught you to use 5% of your capacity, because a population running at 100% would be impossible to manage. You are not underqualified. You are undertrained. Close your eyes. Breathe. Imagine years of mental dust being blown away. Every false belief, every limiting label lifting off your mind. You were never average. You were conditioned to act average. From this moment forward, you stop asking, "Am I smart enough?" and start asking, "How can I train my mind to its highest form?" Because genius is not a gift. It's a decision. Modern neuroscience confirms it. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new connections. When you learn, struggle, imagine, your brain literally rewires. Each thought is a sculptor. Each idea a tool. Yet most people live as if their mind were carved in stone. They never update the software. They keep running the same code written by teachers, parents, society. But a few, the ones we call geniuses, realize the code can be rewritten. And when they did, they escaped the matrix of mental limitation. Look around. Entertainment numbs you. News feeds fear. Social media rewards comparison over creation. Each distraction keeps your mind busy but unproductive. 1,000 notifications drowning your original thoughts. They don't need chains anymore. They have screens. But once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it. You begin to notice how everything is designed to capture attention, not expand consciousness. And when you step outside that loop, you become unpredictable. Free. You are not your education. You are the architect of your own intelligence. Start asking better questions. Read across fields. Connect ideas that don't belong together. Think visually, not verbally. When you imagine, your brain lights up as if the event is real. Imagination is practice. Visualization is rehearsal. Every mental simulation strengthens the circuits of genius. That's how you begin to rebuild the brain they tried to standardize. There comes a moment, a single silent decision, when you refuse to be defined by your past learning. You realize school taught you what to think, but never how. That's when the experiment begins. You start creating mental models, playing with information like clay, molding it, combining it, breaking it. Every day your thoughts grow sharper, faster, deeper. You stop consuming knowledge and start engineering it. That's when you cross the invisible line between ordinary and extraordinary. Society fears those who think freely, because independent minds are impossible to predict. And what can't be predicted can't be controlled. So they label you. Too intense. Too curious. Too different. But that's how every revolution begins. With a mind that refuses to stay inside the limits of normal. They can ridicule you. They can misunderstand you. But they cannot unlearn what you have discovered. Genius is not lightning. It's friction. It's curiosity colliding with persistence. It's failing 1,000 times and still asking why. When Da Vinci dissected corpses to study anatomy, they called him insane. When Tesla imagined wireless power, they called him delusional. When Einstein described time as flexible, they laughed. Until the world bent to match their minds. Genius always looks like madness. Until it works. To undo the lie, you must train your awareness. Every day pause and ask, what am I assuming to be true? Who told me this was impossible? What if the opposite were real? Let those questions echo. Your brain will resist at first. But resistance is growth. Soon you'll feel something shift. Ideas connect faster. Concepts you once ignored start to make sense. That's the moment your real education begins. Understanding your own potential comes with a price. You can't go back. You'll start seeing manipulation in plain sight. You'll question authority. You'll crave solitude over noise. It can feel lonely. But solitude is the workshop of genius. Silence isn't empty. It's full of answers waiting to be heard. Forget everything you were told. Intelligence isn't grades. It isn't vocabulary. It isn't how fast you solve an equation. Intelligence is pattern recognition. It's the ability to see the invisible threads connecting everything. It's imagination disciplined by logic. Emotion balanced by reason. It's knowing when to question and when to trust your intuition. That is the new definition of intelligence. And it belongs to you. Right now, you stand at a mental crossroads. One path leads back to comfort. The predictable world of fixed intelligence and quiet frustration. The other leads into the unknown. A place where your mind becomes your greatest weapon. No teacher can walk that path for you. No degree can certify it. Only curiosity can. Which path will you take? As you listen to these words, your brain is already changing. Neurons are connecting. Old patterns are fading. New ones are forming. You're not just hearing this. You're reprogramming yourself. That's how fast transformation begins. Tomorrow, when you wake up, notice your first thought. Is it the voice of limitation? Or the voice of possibility? Choose possibility. Every time. Because once you decide to think differently, you've already started to build the mind they said was impossible. They told you intelligence was a privilege. They were wrong. Intelligence is your birthright. It's the quiet power inside you, waiting to be trained, sharpened, unleashed. So take this truth and guard it. Feed it with curiosity. Test it with action. You don't need permission to become extraordinary. You just need to start thinking like the person you were always meant to be. From this point on, every thought is a brick in the architecture of your future mind. You are no longer a student of their system. You are the designer of your own. This is only the beginning.